Some voices echo louder from exile than from the podiums of power. Today, we sit with a man who has dedicated his life to the pursuit of freedom, not through war, but through truth. Sam Rainsy, economist, activist, and former opposition leader of Cambodia, has lived a life that mirrors the struggle of his nation, resilience in the face of silence, courage against oppression, and hope against despair. This isn't just a political conversation, it's a humanitarian one. It's about what happens when the cost of freedom becomes exile and when love for your homeland outweighs the fear of returning to it. Without any further ado, let's welcome Mr. Sam Rainsy to the Raz Patel Show. Mr. Rainsy, thank you for joining us. I am extremely humbled and thankful that you have come to talk to us about conversations that hopefully many don't have to discuss. And I'm profoundly obliged that you are able to speak about things that matters to most to people, which is humanitarian and the love for the people. So thank you. And without waiting anymore, let's begin with the boy in you, where the journey began, and that was at home. Can you give us some light as to who you are, Mr. Rainsy, and why the love for Cambodia matters to you?
I was born in Phnom Penh, the capital city of Cambodia,
Okay.
76 years ago,
Wow.
in a family of civil servants and already politicians. My mother was a teacher. She was an educated woman, actually the first Cambodian woman
Wow.
to complete her high school. It was a revolution at that time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Girls was not supposed to attend school.
Yeah, it's unheard of.
But my mother showed a lot of determination against the will of her family. She keeps studying and change school and eventually went to South Vietnam, the current South Vietnam, to complete her high school. And she married my father, who was a young civil servant and who started to be a politician because my grandfather was a minister in the cabinet during the French occupation.
Wow, amazing. So you have a lineage of your family that has served the country,
Yes.
per se. And is that where it sparked your interest to also support the country?
Very much so, to have an interest and even a passion for the public good.
So that's where it sparked.
Yes, very much so.
Did you ever think while you were taking charge of supporting your country, Cambodia, did you ever think for the slightest bit, maybe I don't need to do this? Maybe this is not me? Or you've always, since as a young boy, knew this was your following?
It seems
Or just second nature?
not natural. It become second nature or even first nature.
Wow. This is it. Yeah, that's beautiful. Was there a moment as a child when you realized you were destined to speak to your people? And what were those things, the topics that you knew you had to address to your people? What topics were the most important for you?
Freedom.
Freedom for always.
Yes, freedom. And freedom should lead to justice.
Explain freedom to you. Why does that matter? As a young boy, from what I see, at least from what I'm hearing, your mother she was educated. Your father was leading the country, and your grandfather, and now you. So why is freedom an issue? Because it was always there for you, wasn't it?
Because at a point of time, my father started to criticize the regime.
I see.
He was part of the leadership, but he did not agree with the orientation of the regime led by former King Norodom Sihanouk.
Okay.
At that time, King Norodom Sihanouk favored communist powers, communist powers, Soviet Union, China. And my father, who studied in France, the French Revolution, etc., he favored Western powers to support democracy and freedom, of course.
Yeah.
And then he had disagreement. My father was forced to leave the country, to go into exile, and he was eventually killed. Yes. And my mother was arrested, put in jail. I was like an orphan. And
What age?
10, 12-year old.
It's horrific, yeah.
And then I realized that we had no freedom. We cannot criticize. We cannot defend our view and what we perceive as the country's interests. And eventually, my family and I, we were expelled from the country. We nearly died. We were expelled to South Vietnam.
And what year was that, Mr. Rainsy?
Because King Norodom Sihanouk.
No, what year? What year?
15 then. So after a few
15.
years.
Wow.
And King Norodom Sihanouk wanted to get rid of our family because
he didn't like the opposition.
Yes, and he didn't want us to, when I grow up, my brothers and sisters grow up, they didn't want us to continue the fight.
Right. Yeah. And when did you go to France? In what time frame was that?
At 16.
At 16.
I spent 1 year in South Vietnam. And then we were accepted as political refugees in France.
Yeah.
And then I completed my high school in France and attended university in Paris.
Beautiful. A strong individual for you to continue forward. And when you left to go to France, what part of your childhood and your passion for the country in Cambodia did you take with you? Because you're still serving the country without even being there. You're still supporting them. So what is that spark that keeps you moving forward to help? Is it just freedom alone or something else?
It's the suffering
The suffering of the people.
made you realize that this is unfair. And I don't want that injustice to be imposed on other people.
Right.
Fighting for
For a
justice,
voice.
yes, for everybody else, for the whole people, not for yourself alone.
Yeah.
It's against a system that is not fair.
And from what I have, if I'm understanding, your entire family has been exiled, pushed away,
Yes.
and because of the choices you have made, you as in your family has made, to help the country, to give them freedom, to give them suffrage, to alleviate any suffering. But you still were looked as someone who shouldn't belong to Cambodia. It's because of the regime at the moment. What about the people, the normal people? Are they aware of what's going on?
Oh, there was subsequently after I left Cambodia, the country went through hell. The Khmer Rouge regime under communist China.
Right.
There was the first genocide after Second World War.
Yes.
At least a third of the population was killed. 2 million people were assassinated.
This is horrible.
So this was a big trauma for the country, for our nation. And then there was a civil war that caused, again, hundreds of thousands of victims. And dictatorship was imposed under a foreign occupation, a communist system, where we had no freedom, where the country is controlled by a small group of people. So this only increased my determination to fight for freedom. And when I went back to Cambodia in 1992, people asked me, you have suffered in your family. Do you come here for revenge or what? I said, no. The tragedy of my family is only a drop of blood. But now we are facing an ocean of blood. I come to deal with the ocean of blood, not deal with a drop of blood, which is my personal, my family tragedy.
It's beyond that.
Beyond that.
So you went in 1992
Yes.
back to Cambodia. You didn't have the fear of going back?
No, on the contrary, I was very excited because that was a unique opportunity for me to return to my native country. Because there were an intervention by the United Nations. The international community realized after the genocide I was talking about, 2 million people assassinated, civil war, and it was at the end of the Soviet Union, then the end of the Cold War. So it was the time to put an end to the civil war in Cambodia, and the international community decided that let's organize a peace conference for Cambodia. And there was the signing of the Paris Peace Agreement on Cambodia in 1991. The UN decided then that they will send a peacekeeping force. It was the first ever peacekeeping force of that size. And the UN organized a election. It was the first ever democratic election ever held in Cambodia. And everybody, all parties are allowed to participate. Then I joined the Royalist Party led by King Norodom Sihanouk. And people ask me, but he did harm to your family.
That's why I'm questioning.
Again, I said, a drop of blood is nothing
compared to the ocean of blood.
Ocean of blood. I would support anything that is better than the current regime who kill millions of people. So I joined the Royalist Party led by King Norodom Sihanouk, or former king, and we won the election. We won. And I became the first the Minister of Finance in the first coalition government, in the first post-communist government. I was finance minister.
Wow.
Along with my position as a member of parliament, we wrote a new constitution, etc. And I thought, oh, this is the rebirth of,
Right.
of Cambodia. I was very excited.
Of course.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Then I discovered that the people who used to be powerful,
Right.
they managed to retain power and to corrupt the newcomers. And they did corrupt them. And then in my party, we lost our principle. We became corrupt as those people before us.
Oh,
and we were
such a
associated with them. And then I said, no, I have come back from exile, not to indulge in such practices. And I became the first opposition. I've created the first opposition party in the post-communist era.
Right.
And then I faced a lot of problems. My friend told me, return to France. You cannot do anything. Then I said, no, I am here to fight for a change I have always dreamt of.
But you returned to France, though.
No, I was forced in exile, but I fought in Cambodia on the spot for years.
Right.
And we suffered great loss. I still remember that I lost more than 80 of my colleagues, supporters assassinated. I had to attend many funerals. I would never forget.
That's tragic
Yes,
in every aspect.
It's tragic. It's very costly,
It
to
is.
fight for freedom in certain circumstances is very costly.
Any life is tragic, and we're talking about many lives here. So let's talk about, and we'll get back to this subject in a bit, but let's talk about your career in France, because you had to move back to France. You had the INSET, you were in Sciences Pro, and you were in finance, you were in economics. You did amazing. So being part of this environment in France, how has that helped you to also, and has it helped you in terms of supporting Cambodia in any light?
I was only 16 when I arrived there.
Right, of course.
So after completing my high school, I went to university. I studied economics, finance, management, accounting, and I started my professional career.
Right.
Actually, I was very happy, leading a comfortable life and a successful professional career.
Right.
So even though Cambodia is very far, but Cambodia has remained in my heart. So it was then that the Khmer Rouge genocide took place. So I did my best to fight against the Khmer Rouge regime. Fighting what? By doing what? Is to expose the truth. I think the truth is at the basis of any fight for freedom.
And that truth is the fact that it's corruption.
Yes. No, the truth is the killing, the silent killing of millions of people. They black out. They don't let anybody expose the truth. The refugees will be killed on their way if they want to escape the regime, if they flee the country. But still, I managed to gather testimonies, those who survive. I collect their testimonies. I translate from Cambodian to French to English to expose the truth. And 4 years.
And that's through the Sam Rainsy party, or was it? Or
no, I was just a young professional.
That's it.
After finishing my education, I was a young professional, but
Wow.
I spent the nights, the weekend, my resources to be part of this battle, to rescue,
Amazing.
to rescue the Cambodian people from a genocide. And the genocide lasts for nearly 4 years. But unfortunately, the tragedy did not end with the fall of the Khmer Rouge.
Right.
It was a foreign occupation, a civil war, the dictatorship that caused a lot
Speaking of foreign invasion, can we highlight what we mean by that? The foreign forces.
First, the Khmer Rouge, the genocide regime, was supported by communist China.
Okay. Okay.
And that regime, led by Pol Pot, was overthrown by Vietnam, communist Vietnam,
Okay.
supported by the Soviet Union. So communist China and the Soviet Union, they were in conflict. So the communist China support the Khmer Rouge,
Right.
and the Soviet Union through Vietnam support the other side. So this was the civil war. I think it is the first war among communist countries.
Wow. Interesting. And then Cambodia was stuck right in the
Yes,
middle.
we were just puppets. We were
Yeah,
used
of course.
by superpowers
Yeah.
who use us as a proxy. And then Vietnam invaded in Cambodia, put in place a regime obedient to them. But the Khmer Rouge, supported by China, they continue the battle from the forest. So there was an insurgency. So it is why there was a civil war.
Yeah.
The civil war lasted for 10 years, causing continuous suffering.
10 years.
Yeah, and additional 10 years. So it was terrible, one tragedy after the
Another.
other.
Yeah.
So even though I have a normal, ordinary life in France, in security, but I came not to Cambodia, but to nearby Thailand to visit the refugee camps and to help organize any kind of resistance to bring about a democratic system.
And what's giving you that strength? Given the fact that you have been exiled, you have seen so much suffering, and whether it's not just about your family, but you have seen it as from a young boy to others. What's giving you that strength to keep fighting?
Actually, I didn't ask that question.
But if you had to look back now.
No, it's so natural.
Amazing.
For me, there is no alternative. I just couldn't imagine a life doing nothing, idle life, enjoying life, where there's so much suffering around you.
Yeah.
So you cannot stay idle and turn a blind eye. For me, it's so natural. I didn't ask any question.
You just did.
You should do it.
To you, it's work.
Yes,
to you, it's a must.
Continue. Continue what you are doing. It's just life. It is your duty.
So going to that, when you, which is going back to the strength that you have, this innate strength, because it is. You have this courage, this passion, and this strength from somewhere, spiritual strength that is guiding you. Your ally, the immunity that was stripped from you, and then your allies were arrested. What did you tell yourself in those dark moments? We're trying to understand where this is, how one can gain the same type of strength to help others.
Yeah, but we were on the same line, the front line. We share the same
common
yes, and
passion and view,
and also the same risk. even though you are the leader, you have to be with your colleagues
Right.
as exposed
Okay.
as anybody else. And I was the subject of many assassination attempts. In one assassination attempt, 16, at least 16 of my colleagues, people who protest
Right.
with me were killed. No, my clothes were covered with blood. My bodyguards jumped on me to protect me from a grenade that had been thrown. He was killed. He was killed while they protecting me,
you,
while
yes.
saving
Yeah.
my life. So
Without even thinking.
no, without thinking.
Yeah.
So life and death
That is it.
are interrelated, are close to each other.
Right. And so when we see this constant battle about life and death, about good humans and people who are fighting against humanity, what did you learn from this when you're watching, Mr. Rainsy, is that about human nature? What makes some people want to help and some people who want to oppose? This is the whole cycle of human nature. What did you learn from this?
The importance of truth.
Okay.
You have to fight for truth. You have to die for truth. You have to expose truth, because truth is the basis of everything.
Right.
Starting with justice. Don't play with hiding truth. Don't condone anybody who do not
Don't suppress truth.
suppress truth.
Right.
So look at dictators as any criminals. They are afraid of truth because truth will end their wrongdoing. So when you fight for freedom, for any good cause, for justice, fight for truth.
Right.
Fight for the light. Truth is like the light.
Yeah.
The light will eliminate, will dissipate.
All evil.
Yes, all evil and wrongdoing.
Right. And you're watching your people from far away while you've been on exile and seeing the suffering and knowing that if you ever had to return, what can happen to you, whether it's imprisonment or worse. So while you have been away from your country, your homeland, your birthplace, how does it make you feel from looking through the looking glass, what your people are going through? How does it make you feel?
You know, in modern time,
Yeah.
geographic distance does not have the same meaning
Doesn't, right?
as before.
Yeah. Because you've gone through it all.
Yes, I can be in touch with my friends, with my colleague, with my people anytime. I can be in their home, in the rice field, in the factory, anytime.
Yeah.
So distance, physical, geographical distance is nothing.
It's not.
Is your mindset.
Right. That's a very good thought, especially given our time and day.
Yes.
Yeah. Technology is so important. Speaking of technology, let's talk about how technology can help and has not helped Cambodia at the moment. What are your thoughts around it, such as the cybercrime, how that's impacted Cambodia, as well as how we can utilize technology to support Cambodia? Any thoughts around that?
I think technology supports freedom because technology helps expose the truth.
Right.
We come back to our discussion at the beginning.
Right.
So with technology, nobody can hide the truth. Some people try to manipulate the truth,
Right.
to create misinformation.
Which happens continuously.
But eventually, the truth will prevail.
So what have you noticed? What are some of the problems or challenges that you are seeing with cybercrime that is happening right now with Cambodia? What truth are they suppressing other than the fact that there's so much killing and hatred towards your own people? So how can we help the people that are living there to understand they need to rise up, they need to give voice to their own
concerning the cybercrime, the mafia, the organized crime,
right,
led by Chinese criminals, the Chinese mafia.
Yeah.
There are compounds used as call centers,
Okay.
where tens of thousands of nationals from many countries all over the world are being enslaved to work as a slave to extort money from innocent people all over the world, and every year they extort billions of dollars. As for the organized crime in Cambodia, the figure is clear, is not less than 15 billion US dollars, which represent nearly half of the country's GDP. So the size of the activities of the organized crime is huge. It is why they are in a position to corrupt the whole leadership of the country and turning Cambodia into a mafia state.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
Yes.
of the corruption and the leadership that they have at the moment, I think at this moment we have Hun Manet,
Yes.
right? And before that was what was his name?
Hun Sen,
Hun Sen,
the
right?
father.
Yes, thank you. So Hun Manet has stepped into that seat, right? And so some of these people, as you're saying, the Cambodians are saying it's just a continuity, and it's good because we know we're comfortable, we're safe with this regime because we know what they're doing. Others call it captivity, imprisonment,
Yes.
right? So how have they been able to hold this captivity for so long in Cambodia, and why are we not able to see them becoming dismantled, given that they have created such problems, such suffrage to their own people? Why are they calling it, some of them are calling it continuity versus captivity at the moment?
Because we have discovered the truth only recently. Criminals have succeeded in hiding the truth or distorting the truth for a long time. But finally, some of the victims have succeeded in alarming their families, the rest of the world,
That's good.
of the situation happening in Cambodia. And I think nobody can hide the truth anymore, because some of those slaves, modern time slave,
Yeah, it is modern day slave. Yeah.
some have been killed after being tortured because they cannot provide enough money as the criminals ask them to provide for them. And their bodies were discovered, and the concerned authorities, the countries of origin, started to make investigation and realize
Okay, good.
that nationals have been enslaved, tortured, killed by those criminals. So you cannot hide anymore, because there is a public opinion, there is a press.
There's an uprising now that they're seeing what's happening.
Uproar
Yeah.
against those activities.
Right. Speaking of which, because now there's more awareness and people are speaking up, what has the UN and Asian, how have they been involved to support Cambodia?
I think
Has there been any type of involvement that has been productive, actually?
there has been protest, of course.
Right.
But what I see coming is a joint intervention, because many countries have nationals who are victims. Recently, the U.S. has taken measures, have blacklisted a numbers of the criminals.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. The UK has done so. South Korea has done so. India also has shown concern.
Yeah.
So other country, Vietnam has done so. Other countries are joining voice, and I hope joining hand to take concrete action.
That's beautiful.
It is not only their rights,
Right.
but it is their obligation to intervene,
Of course.
and to secure the release of their nationals who are being enslaved by criminal organization. And that criminal organization is protected by Hun Sen, the Hun Sen regime. The Hun Sen regime vitally rely for financial support on those criminal organizations. So Hun Sen regime and criminal organization, they live in a symbiotic relationship.
Of course.
When you eliminate the organized crime, I think the Hun Sen regime
Will dismantle.
Yes, will be finished also at the same time.
Right.
But at least it is a moral obligation, to put an end to the activities of the organized crime.
So speaking of the moral obligation, there in July 2025 there was there was a Paris Agreement that about something about the Paris Treaty agreements that just didn't align well.
Yes.
And I think there was a talk about modification and modifying that Paris Treaty. Can you enlighten us in what that is?
So the Paris Peace Agreement on Cambodia, signed in 1991, is an international treaty
Right.
that is still in force.
Right.
18 countries beside Cambodia have committed themselves to supporting democracy in Cambodia,
Right.
to helping Cambodia defend her sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Right.
The 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. So this is a real international commitment. Now, if this international treaty is effectively implemented, we would not have that kind of problem that we are facing now. Internal problems and external problem. Internal problem, this dictatorship, this lack of freedom, this corruption, political prisoners, etc., repressive regime, because this is not in line with the promise that Cambodia will enjoy a democratic system. And the other problem is the external problem. In Cambodia, you have a military base from China, the Ream naval base. The Chinese, they build a military base as a military outpost for China's expansion, to threaten neighboring countries in that part of the world, in what they call South China Sea. But actually, South China Sea does not belong to China. It is just a name. And Cambodia, under Hun Sen, allows China to do that for financial support.
Of course.
First, from the Chinese government, from the Chinese Communist Party, now from the Chinese mafia. So this is a violation of the Paris Peace Agreement. Second, if we face any risk of territorial integrity, etc., we should ask the international community to send representatives to inspect what is the real situation, and the international community will help us ensure that our territorial integrity is effectively respected.
In your July 2025 statement you had made, you reminded the world that Cambodia's greatest weapon isn't military.
Yes.
It's legal and diplomatic. In the 1991 Paris Peace Agreements, that's where you were speaking of. Why are these agreements still so powerful today, and how can they be reactivated to protect Cambodia's sovereignty? Because you've urged the UN, France, and Indonesia to reconvene the Paris Conference, right? And what outcomes do you hope for?
Because this agreement, which is an international treaty, still in force, is not effectively implemented.
Okay.
Because of that failure to implement this international treaty, we are facing a lot of problems.
Such as?
Internal problem and external problem.
Okay.
Internal problem related to the non-respect to the serious violations of human rights.
Right.
And external aspect is our problem, border problem, perceived threat from neighboring countries. If the Paris Peace Agreement on Cambodia signed in 1991 are effectively implemented, Cambodia would follow the democratic path, implement a democratic system. The official words was a liberal and pluralist democracy,
right,
which is just the opposite of the kind of regime we have now.
That we have,
yeah. And
sure.
Second, we don't need to be involved in the use of force to defend our country, because the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of the country is guaranteed by this agreement, this very agreement. Then we should ask for international observers
right,
to come
yeah,
to see the real situation and to ensure that the current situation does not happen.
Yeah.
So I think this agreement is very important to be recalled and to ask for their effective implementation.
Absolutely. So now, which goes right into my next question about humanity, right? Because everything about the peace treaty and so forth is all about how we are supporting our Cambodian people, right? So what is your hope that you want to see from all these people that are the allies, like US, UN, Asians, the France treaty? What is your hope and desire, other than, of course, the main thing is stop the suffering? What does your heart want?
I think I want to see the Cambodian people given a chance, an opportunity to express themselves
right,
as a nation,
yeah,
and to give democracy a chance,
right, yeah,
to have a free and fair, genuine election whereby the country will be governed according to democratic principle.
absolutely,
I think this is the basis for a fair solution
yeah,
to all the problems that we are facing now.
that's well said.
Yes.
100% agree on that. When it comes to what you have seen, you've seen hatred, right? You've seen violence, you've seen betrayal, but with your own people that have worked with you silently, you've seen love for the country, love for the people,
Yes.
and sacrifice, right? What has that taught you about forgiveness for what has been done to your own people that you have seen, your own family, and those who have worked with you to fight for the country. What do you think about forgiveness at this point?
I think forgiveness is possible.
Okay.
It is even desirable. But in order to forgive, you must know to forgive what.
Exactly.
And those who have caused you suffering must ask for forgiveness. And all this leads to the question of truth.
Right. Yeah.
Do those who cause you sufferings accept the truth that they have caused you suffering?
And usually,
No.
no.
No. Because if they accept the truth,
They're found guilty.
found guilty, they will no longer be in power.
Right.
They would lose impunity. So they would never accept the truth.
Never. Yeah. Why would
So
they bring their own?
We have to continue to expose the truth.
Yeah. So, in order to expose the truth, we need to utilize the digital world, right? For our young youth, our people in Cambodia, and the young folks around the
Yes.
world. And we can do so through our digital world. And that's a means of bringing the voice, the truth out.
Yes.
Wouldn't you say?
Yes, very much so.
So we need to move forward with that.
Yes, we need to move forward.
So what are your thoughts? How can we utilize the digital world? How can we bring that in the sense of education, in sense of awareness? What can we do?
First of all, it's a matter of principle. Expose the truth. Don't be afraid of exposing the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is the basis
Right.
for justice and for all the change
All change.
you want to see.
Right.
And education will help, but modern technology
Yeah.
will help expose the truth.
Right.
So I'm very confident, in spite of attempts to distort the truth, to hide the truth through misinformation. I'm confident that the truth will eventually prevail.
Right. And then speaking of truth, you wrote a book. We didn't start the fire.
Yes.
Right? It tells us not just a story, but it's about the Cambodia soul. Right? And what fire were you referring to? Resistance or birth?
So we inherit problems from what the previous generations have done. So it's a burden
Right.
and also a responsibility. We have to suffer, but we have to put an end to avoid that this burden will be transferred to the next generations. So
What gave you that strength to write, given when you're writing as an author, when you're writing, it's rekindling and reopening all those pain that you have lived. So how do you, in that pain, that suffering that you've gone through, how did you find that hope to write and finish? Talking about your Cambodian
actually,
soul.
writing is liberation.
Yeah.
Is turning suffering and chaos in your head, in your heart,
It's true.
into a plan,
I understand.
into a plan
completely. Yeah.
to make the world better.
Yeah. It's a way, you put it so beautifully. It is a liberation.
Yes.
It's just to get part of you out there and then feel at peace. Right? Yeah.
And to make it constructive,
Yeah.
to lose your bitterness and to strengthen your hope and your determination.
Right. And that's determination and hope is also what you're trying to give through your book to our youth, as well as the activists that are out there to support
Very much
Cambodia. And that's how I see, right? Yeah, your book, it needs to be said more.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for, providing that to us. Now, in your struggle for Cambodia, you have shed light on humanity, because this is for everyone. The democracy is for anyone and everyone.
Yes.
It's just not for just Cambodia, right?
Yes.
So, what are your thoughts when people are silent? Do you think that's also a crime? When you're silent instead of fighting for your democracy?
It depends on what kind of silence.
Yeah.
If you suffer yourself, if you are under threat,
Yeah.
I can understand that you need to be silent.
Right.
But if you benefit from the status quo, you have a comfortable situation, you keep quiet because you are afraid of losing your privileges.
Right.
So this is accomplices.
Yeah.
This you make things worse.
Yeah. I mean, knowledge is human. Truth is human,
Yes,
right? And we need to get that out.
definitely.
Yeah. So if you could address the leaders of the world, because as you've done many times before, from the UN to the Elysee Palace, what would your message be at this point in time?
To address the issue of human dignity, all human being deserves the same dignity, and with dignity, you have human rights,
Right.
of course. No?
Yeah.
You have freedom, etc., and you have democracy.
Right.
I think this is a universal battle.
is. It's a universal.
universal. We
It's
fight-
a universal problem, and it's a universal
Yeah.
fight for the peace.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Now, if you've lived a life of exile, resistance, and unwavering hope, if tomorrow you could walk freely through Phnom Penh again, what's the first thing you'd do if you had to go back?
Is to kneel down, to be
Bless.
humble,
Yeah.
to be grateful to this opportunity to set foot again.
In your motherland.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. How would you like history to remember Mr. Sam Rainsy?
To show the way, in spite of the risk, the danger, in spite sometimes of the very little hope, if any, to succeed. So it is a definition of success.
Right.
What do you mean by success?
Yeah, what do you mean by success? Because a lot of people would question,
Yeah.
why did you do this? Why do you want to be in this path, right?
Yes.
And what did you gain out of this? A lot of people do question that. What did you gain out of fighting for Cambodia? Because have you achieved anything? A lot of people may question that.
First is to be true to yourself. Second is self-respect.
Right.
You know? I can be powerless, I can suffer, I can be very poor, but I keep self-respect and self-esteem.
Right.
I can be very powerful, I can be very rich, I can be in high top position, but in the bottom of my heart, I don't respect even myself. It's very bad.
Yeah.
And second is normal. Life, you have ups and downs.
Right.
Nothing is eternal.
Right.
And you have to be prepared to go through ups and downs. I know that since my early childhood, I was born in a privileged family, and I become a street child. You know? So I know, you know, what is comfort, what is pride, and what is poverty, humiliation,
Yeah.
etc.
You've gone through the entire cycle of emotions.
Entire cycle. So I'm not impressed
Right.
by wealth, by power. I am only impressed by dignity.
So would you say, what is freedom to you then? Because you've gone through the entire cycle.
Freedom to choose.
Freedom to choose.
I can choose to be a good man, I can choose to be a bad man. So at least let me choose.
Yeah.
And this is my conscience will do it. But what I'm most proud of is to have shown the way when I first founded the first opposition party. Before that, I founded the first opposition newspaper. I led the first street protest. I helped found the first free trade union. Okay? So it was an adventure at the beginning
Right.
of a new era. And people could not imagine how risky, how challenging it was. And eventually, throughout those years of fighter, I have helped change the mindset of people.
That's beautiful.
Now, I don't need to be with those who suffer.
Right.
They will remember the first protest, and they will take part in the protest. For them, is now natural to protest, not to accept what is not true, not to accept what is not just.
Right.
It is our right.
It is
and
our right.
obligation to fight for what is right.
Well said, Mr. Rainsy. I mean, that's it's just humanity at its core when you have the right to choose and right to think and right to believe in what you want. And with that, I really, really thank you for coming to our platform at the Raz Patel Show, because you have shed so much light on humanity and what you have gone through. Not many people can go through and still come out and say, I love humans and I love my people. So I commend you.
I did it very, very small scale.
Oh,
My idol is the Mahatma Gandhi. But Mahatma Gandhi did not seek anything for himself.
right.
It's a life of sacrifice, of showing the way, of being a model. I remember the Mahatma Gandhi said, "What you ask me, what is my message?"
Yeah.
He responded, "My life is my message."
And you follow that
Yes.
to the T.
My life is my message.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And some battles with that are fought with armies, others with silence and courage. Mr. Sam Rainsy reminds us that freedom isn't granted by governments. It's born in conscience. His voice may have been exiled, but his truth never left home. This conversation isn't just about Cambodia. It's about all of us. What would happen if we stopped listening? So rise up, listen, and help our humankind. I'm Raz Patel, and you are on the Raz Patel Show. And we all thank and applaud Mr. Sam Rainsy for what he has done in humanity, in conversation. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're extremely enlightened. I was trying not to cry. I was like, oh my God.